Do you have any large size silver certificates? We get that question often. And tonight I can actually answer yes. Let's have some fun with it, shall we? Let's take a peek. We're talking about the last of the jumbos. These were issued in 1923. Large size currency was 1870s, 1880s on, right? And they ended in 1923, this note. We shrunk it in 1928 to the size note we carry today, called small size currency. George was on the last large, and he's still on the small one today. Now you're looking at the quality of this note. These are certified by PCGS, and look at that price. Whole different planet spinning right now, isn't it? Remember the storyline of paper, right? We replaced the big notes with the small notes in 28. So what do we do at the banks? Destroy the big stuff and use the small stuff. It's easier. Ding, ding, ding. That happened 100 years ago. Then, in 1963, the U.S. Treasury devalues silver certificates, and you can no longer redeem them. So if you brought them to the bank, and they announced this, so a lot of people knew it, so they rushed to the bank to get their silver, 10 dimes, $1, whatever they could get, but they wanted to get their silver for a silver certificate. So what happens? All those notes are turned in, right? And again, remembering, that was small size and large size. Now we're 2 or 3 steps removed from when this was actually out there. It was only out there for a short period of time. What also was going on at this time in history? 29, right? The stock market crash, the Great Depression from the early 1930s. Do you think people were hanging on to $1 bills? Or do you think they were circulating if they were fortunate enough to have them? That's just the storyline of history. Not a fun one, trust me. I understand that. So when we can find vintage paper, and they can stack up and be certified, all of ours are blessed, as you can see here. No big creases, no big stains anywhere. Even though you could have them certified, and they will certify them even with the stains on them. That's not the way we roll. All of them are beautiful, consistent color obverse, consistent color reverse. You know by the grade of 30 that there's not going to be many creases. You very rarely see these in unk. When you do see them, they're usually heavily circulated. They look like they've been folded 100 times. My competition, they have unks in sleeves for 137. And they look like they were carried on the back of a many cowboy moving west and were used 1,000 times. These are PC30s. They look gorgeous, as you can see, and they sell for less money. That's the AVC way. That's what we're all about. That's what we strive for. Now, the unfortunate part about this note is I don't have many of them. I wish I did. Part of the reason why we go through 50-plus products is it's not uncommon for us to bring up 20 or 25 of something for a national broadcast into hundreds of millions of homes. And we're okay with that. We love talking about as much variety as maybe you like seeing the variety on your side. So this is an end of history. It's a turning point in American history. We went from silver dollars in circulation at this time. 23 was one of the largest mintages of the peace dollar. But you could have paper instead. And then in 28, we said we're shrinking the paper, make it more usable, because we think people will prefer paper. And they were right. So we destroyed the large, brought out the new. And then we destroyed the silver certificates because we don't want people to get $1 for them anymore in silver, even though it says payable to the bearer on demand. So in late 1963, they pulled silver certificates from being functional silver redeemers. If you were lucky enough to turn them in, many people did. You got your silver, but you lost the precious note. And that's why you don't find them. Today we found a few, and it's a fun one. Guys, 30-second clock, please. It doesn't get much more fun than this. End of history. 1923, the last large. Right? Beautiful color on the obverse and reverse. The blue seal for silver certificate. Again, these are about 50% larger than the current notes we have in our pocket. Those were introduced in 1928, only a few years after this note. Competition sells lesser grade, heavily circulated for $20 more. We're selling you 30 grade PCs for less money. That's a doozy.